What is your high school crush doing now? He's married to his high school girlfriend. When I was a sophomore he was a senior and I wrote him a note and asked him out to get coffee. He was so polite about turning me down. Todd, you beautiful man, if you're reading this, hi and thanks for not crushing a 16-year-old to pieces. Edit, for everyone asking, he told me he was very flattered I had asked him on a date and politely declined because he was in love with his girlfriend, now wife. He was cordial and honest. After that he would wave to me in the hallway when we passed each other. Everyone should be nice like Todd. Watching TV in our room. We reconnected almost 20 years after high school. I'm planning on proposing next month. I was actually thinking about her the other week. She graduated and never got on social media, so I never was able to befriend her on Facebook. None of my friends even remembers her. I describe what she looked like and everything, so I'm thinking she never existed and I'm just crazy. She's married to a guy in the MLB, before me she dated another guy who made it to the NBA. I'm decent at beer pong and throwing a frisbee though. She actually published a book last year, finished an MBA, and works in banking outside of that. I assume she's doing pretty well. I'm fairly happy for her, though she kind of spiraled into a "I'm very insecure about my life, so I'm going to talk down to you about everything, period." I haven't talked to her in any meaningful capacity in a couple of years now. Though I hope she's going pretty good. I have too. I haven't kept up with them, but this question inspired me to look them up on Facebook. One of them is studying political science at Yale and will be starting law school in the fall. The other one hasn't posted anything on Facebook in years, but his profile picture is a photo of him drinking Jack straight out of the bottle. She was an exchange student who I was absolutely over the moon for. We had a few dates and I think she was fairly sweet on me, but didn't want to get too involved with someone who would soon be on the other side of the world from her, and I think a little bit of cultural stigma at play as well. Now she's a professional athlete of some note. I think she competes with her national team. Naturally I still have vague notions of us getting back together someday. I'm not sure, but I know he did get a teaching degree, so hopefully he got a good job and is enlightening kids somewhere. I actually went to the same college that he did, and just before he graduated I simply sat down with him and confessed that he had been my crush back in high school. He turned bright red and said he was surprised he was anyone's crush. He was caught up in sports and extra classes and didn't date much. He thanked me and gave me a hug, and somewhere in my head my 16-year-old self shrieked with glee. She's married, 2 kids. I think she's a stay-at-home mom, but am not 100% on that. We were best friends from like age 8, lived down the street from each other our whole lives. After high school we fell out of touch, and although I've thought about her from time to time, I never looked her up. About a year ago her mom added me on FB, so I did a little light stalking, saw she was married with kids and left well enough alone. I'm happy for her. She came out as a lesbian and started dating my best friend. I have since come out as gay, so we're all just friends now. She's married, but we recently met up a couple years ago, which was 9 years after graduation, and we slept together. It brought some insane feelings back. I think it did for her too. Several months after that she told me she was getting married in an almost apologetic email. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to say, so I congratulated her and told her I was happy for her. She's the one that got away twice. She sent me a Facebook message recently when I updated my relationship status with my current girlfriend saying she's like me since high school. We're 25 now, I haven't lived in my hometown in 3 years and am in a very happy relationship now. Maybe you should have told me this when I was really into you and we went to school together. But what do I know? The one from the first half of high school is an actress in NYC and engaged to a British guy. The one from the latter half is an actress in Chicago, is British herself and is dating some guy with one eye who likes to surf Reddit. We reconnected after college and pulled the whole rom-com "I had a huge crush on you, I didn't know you had one on me too" thing. We've been officially together for almost 3 years now and she's the best thing in my life. In a long-term relationship with her girlfriend. I'm a guy. And no, she isn't remotely bi. We're still on good terms. She was lying to herself more than she was lying to me. I'll never forget what it was like when I got my second girlfriend and thought, oh. So this is what making out feels like when your girlfriend is actually attracted to you. This is great. One went on to be a professional photographer. The other one is still my best friend to this day. I'm 80% sure she's grooming me to be someone she can eventually be with. I know it sounds odd, but over the years she's taught me how to kiss the way she likes, all her little spots she likes being touched, how to wash and fold her clothes, and how to make all of her favorite foods. Either that or she's prepping me to be a useful slave in the future. Well, we both grew up in a shitty Texas town. Now she lives in New York in an expensive condo with a view. She's a project manager at some large company making $100K plus and is marrying a very attractive man. She still has her swimmer's body too. My life is good, it's just not that good. I moved to Seattle and live in a stylish apartment with a view of the water. I write novels and do computer science stuff, making above average money for Americans. Anyway, I don't feel bad at all. At the end of the day, she didn't love me for whatever reason, and I can't stay with a person who doesn't love me. I've had many other partners since I knew her, some of which have really blown my mind. I'm quite happy where I'm at. I went to my 10-year reunion not long ago. Mr. Crush and I are Facebook friends, but were never even really friends back in the day. Since then, he was a model for Lucky brand jeans and has moved up to the styling side behind the camera. He is still quite pretty. My husband came to the reunion and couldn't stop laughing when Mr. Crush came up to me, asked me what I was drinking, and I stammered Merlot. Mr. Crush proceeds to good-naturedly and drunkenly tell Hubs we had lockers next to each other 1 year and it would make sense my husband would be successful and handsome, considering I was beautiful and a good student back then. Meanwhile, I was slowly melting against a wall. Drunk. Too many handsome men in front of me. Is it hot in here? No? Just me? If I could go back in time, I'd tell 15-year-old me that someday she'd be married to a stud and the boy she could never, and still can barely, talk to thought she was beautiful all along. In bed with my best friend. I know this because she texted me when it happened, and it only happened because I'm out of town for work. I wish I could have stopped her from doing it, but when the neighborhood kids started playing with firecrackers outside on the street, he got scared and started shaking. She wrapped him up in one of my favorite blankets and had him lie on my spot on our bed. Now I'm going to have to deal with lint rolling dog fur off my pillow when I get home.